gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled. Dedicated to truth, justice, and peace for all mankind.
Welcome everybody, Spinner Rack is here! And we're going to talk about one of the biggest things happening in movies right now.
Rated R.
Rated R. Rated R. You know, is this something that's going to affect comic books? Can you bring it that comic book movies, superheroes? There's been two big successful franchises that we've seen, or at least the start of one and the ending of another. They've used the R and they've gotten some huge numbers. So I'm going to bring it into my boys. PD, Cal, what do you guys think about this? Well, no, I kind of think you guys are wrong. So I'm going to say right now, no, I'm only joking. Guys, what do you think? PD, last time we saw with Cal, we'll start with you this time.
Well, the thing that's going on is that the kids are watching TV shows. They're watching Breaking Bad. They're watching all this semi-R-rated stuff. So the moviegoers, the same like when TV first came out, they're like, how are we going to get the people to watch more movies? So then that's how the rated R stuff came out. Got a lot darker. You know, they also expanded the picture. They did everything to fight against TV. Now it's fighting against binge TV. So then they're like, hey, they went to see Deadpool. They went to see Logan now. I think the same thing is happening with the writer of Mission Impossible is like, hey, you know, look at, you know, my son is watching all of these, you know, these heavy shows here. They got all of them on there. And they're playing video games and they're thinking like, let's put the R on it. Let's see what happens. Let's move from the PG-13 and see what happens.
Yeah, it's called bad parenting.
So what do you think? What do you think?
No, because at the end of the day, the majority of people who go to see films would like to be able to see films with their kids, don't want their kids going to see these outrageous films. And while this director may be a poor parent and has
It's not about poor parenting.
and has, you know, no control over what his child is watching,
Did you
the
get to
majority
see
of guys
R-rated
don't.
movies when you were a kid?
No,
Of course we did.
no, I did not.
We
Go
did.
Rugby and King's Plaza.
Yeah.
No, my father wouldn't let me hang out with you people because he said you were a bad influence.
And
So I
look,
didn't
we're
go
still
see any
friends
horror films.
today. We're still friends today.
Bad influence. Neat.
Yeah. Said you guys were a bad influence. I couldn't go hang out. I couldn't hang out with them because Dad said these guys were a bad influence. So I was still watching all of the PG and G stuff, and these guys over here, you know, were watching R-rated stuff. So again, it just boils down to parenting.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'm saying that, yeah, forget it.
Yeah,
Well,
that
you
was
grew up on the other side.
shot
of the
right
track.
across the bow.
That's terrible.
So I gotta disagree with you. I mean, shockingly, I kind of agree with Cal's point of view, but I think for a whole different reason. You know, I think the whole reason they went to R is because they're trying to get the comic book fans who have grown up and they want to see much more mature subject matter being dealt with, which is natural, which is us. But I don't think as a business tactic, I don't think it's going to work in the long run. I think Deadpool was a shot in the pan. I think Logan did well because of the popularity of the character. But you're right. I think people want to take their families to these movies, especially those who've grown up with the comic books. And I think this is
People took their families to see rated R movies.
yeah,
What
but not like
what
this.
rated R movie?
You know, not
That's what the whole point of having the saying you had the, you know.
But what
parental-
movie? Can you
What, like
what did you-
Terminator?
the Terminator? You
Like
didn't take any
Freddy?
kids to see the Terminator?
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
No. The Freddy Krueger movies, I
Freddy
can understand.
Krueger?
See, the Freddy Krueger movies, I can
horror?
understand because of the horror, where that might just be too heavy for a kid to handle. And you can say, oh, no, he
You're
can.
not going to take a teenager to see the Terminator
No, that's a
or
teen.
Predator?
Again,
I'm not talking about little kids. I'm talking about.
That's where I'm at because a lot of this. Look, when you have an 8 or a 9-year-old saying, "Look, I really want to go see Deadpool," and you're like, "Can I let you see all of this violence and this guy getting pegged by his girlfriend?" I don't think
I'm
so.
not talking about. I mean, that's the thing. We're not talking
But
about.
that's the group. That,
agree.
It's
that's,
talking about like.
that's the group.
We're talking about. You're saying no.
That's the group. That's the
different.
group I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
You're not taking those kids.
I'm talking
you're taking those
six.
to G.
I'm taking six. I'm talking like
G
6 to
to
12, 6 to
PG.
13. Once you start hitting 14 and 15, you can have some more. You can have some more discretion with it. I think because
Yeah,
depending on
you can.
maturity.
Well,
but you lose that whole audience
I'm-
right over there
that's
because
what-
you can't
Big
take them.
audience. You
But
can't-
that's the thing. I think you've turned it into someone saying someone under 13 should be able to see this, and that's not what I don't think the director.
No,
was
that's
saying
why you have
either.
R- that's
I'm
why you have
saying
R-rated films.
There's a stage of post 13, which would when. Well, I don't know about you, but
We're not talking about a film like
You
The
knew me
Godfather.
post
We're not-
13, so what are you talking
that's
about?
what I'm saying. You were seeing rated R at the same stage as me. We're fighting at some point. You're getting to a rated
We're
R
not talking
movie.
about a film like The Godfather, where a 14 or 15-year-old might not even be interested in it, and it's rated R. We're talking about something like Deadpool or superhero stuff, where it's colorful, it's flashing, where they may have seen Wolverine or seen the Wolverine, and now they can't go see Logan.
Exactly.
That's where you come into it, where it's something where, okay, this is something where we should be able to get a whole bunch of kids in it, but we can't because of that particular rating. And look, I already
isn't
expressed
the
I already
Avengers-
expressed the issues that I had with Logan, where you have these kids over here doing these actions, where the same kids who were doing the actions in the film couldn't legally go see that film on their own without somebody chaperoning them. And the same thing for
I have
Deadpool.
no problem with that. No problem.
I
With that. I
think-
told you that before. But I think though that it's a marketing strategy by
parenting.
Fox.
I'm not
They
talking
wanna
about
get-
under 13. I'm talking about
But they see
13
movies too.
plus.
They see movies. They go to see
13
movies.
plus.
Look at the Power Rangers movie that's getting ready to come out. Okay, I know a 4-year-old.
Come out this week.
Yeah, I know a 4-year-old. He wants to go see the Power Rangers. Could you imagine if they said, "Nah, we want to up the ante on this. We want to do like the really R stuff."
Well-
How many of these kids now, like, they can't see it, but they love the cartoons, they love the toys, they can watch all this stuff, but they can't go see the movie. That's where you're at when it comes to this. If you want to just make an R-rated movie
Well, I
like
think
John
we're
Wick,
talking about- well, no, that's what
they
I'm
don't
saying.
have
I
John
think-
Wick. They don't have little John Wick toys for kids. The kids don't
well,
care.
I mean, it's two different things. I'm talking movies, and we're talking saying the superhero stuff, saying should Spider-Man be rated R, which there's no real reason why it should be. There can be death in
But
the
they'll do it.
13.
They'll
So
do
why,
it.
Why
No,
would
but I
they?
think this was done by Fox. I mean, this is both movies, Deadpool and Logan, are Fox movies.
If they did,
Logan
they-
has claws. There's
If
no.
they think they can
even
do
if
some,
you have
if they
kids
think
who
they can
like
make some
Wolverine.
money,
Right, and they
they would
want-
see. They would watch us. They would have Spider-Man like humping on Mary Jane in the shower, and something of that nature.
I
We see
totally
some
disagree.
side boob, and then you got to wonder like, oh, what the hell? What the hell is
I
going
totally
on?
disagree,
If
because
they
no-
think they could make some money doing it, they would
But
do it.
Logan is different because, like, Wolverine has the claws. You can't escape him, like saying the kid who watched the cartoon, and at some point them deciding to have him gut someone like they had in that crazy movie.
I don't have any I don't have any problem with Logan, with Wolverine popping his claws into somebody's head. That's the character. However, I think it is hypocritical when you're making a movie and you're having minors in there performing actions that they would not be able to sit and watch this movie for.
Okay. So again,
So
we're
when you do,
digressing.
and then
we are digressing.
no,
Because I think-
because this
I
goes
think
this
that's-
goes to my
No,
larger
wait
this
a
goes to my
second.
larger point. Okay, I don't have a problem with Logan doing that, but when they want kids to watch it, when they have the X-Men cartoon and such, what do? They clean it up. They don't put any of that stuff, and a lot of the kids, that's where they're first seeing this character. So now you would love the same kid who's watching the cartoon to go and see the movie. You would love them to be able to come out. That's still more money in your pocket. If you're going to say, well, no, we want to stay true to the character, okay, but then you can't have the cartoons, you can't have the toys, you can't have any of that type of stuff because you're going to seed the ground for this money. That's what you're doing when you do the
Well,
R-rated.
no,
You're
but
just
they-
talking about three different markets here. You're talking about the comic books have the comic
Yeah.
code. You
Yeah.
have the cartoons. You have
comic code isn't
the
there
co-
anymore.
All right. So you have the cartoons. You have a smaller niche market. Let's say less than 500,000 people are buying those comics. Then you have the TV show, probably a couple of million are watching those. But then you have millions of people watching this the movies, and they're making $500 million.
But
I
the,
think
no,
it's-
well,
it's-
the cartoons
no.
are going to be a bigger audience than the movies.
But
I
you,
don't think so. I think the movies
Of course, because they're going to have
more.
more cartoons than they're going to have that one movie.
But
Right,
we've
but I'm
had
saying that overall.
we have two different things in difference between the comic Batman and the cartoon Batman. And this is not just the 90s, but
Right.
we've had it whereas the TV one. We've been able to split the audience in such a way where the the people who want to see the more adult stuff are getting that in, I guess, Chris Claremont comics, and what you saw in the cartoon wasn't exactly everything. It had all the stories, but it was softened a lot. It didn't have all of the subtext, and it didn't have definitely none of the stuff that Chris Claremont was writing as far as the sexual connection between characters. So I think you can split them and say, here's the animated movie of Wolverine and have that happen, because they're doing that with Spider-Man now. Well, they won't. I'm not using Spider-Man, but just it's easier to stay with Wolverine. You can do it because Wolverine's cursing all the time. You could stay with that and not worry about why is there two audiences, because the kids will get the cartoon or Marvel doesn't do animated movies, but you can do the split. We've dealt with the split as far as cartoons for years.
Yeah, you could.
So.
That's fine. You can do the split. as long as you're willing to cede that ground, and then when the rated R stuff fizzles for you, and it will fizzle, okay, you understand that, okay, you scorched that earth over here because
It's not
yeah,
scorching the
because
earth.
now you scorched that earth because
No.
hey, the parents over there, responsible parents, are going to say, no, I don't trust this because isn't that always R? And then that's going to be the end
If
of
you
it.
do
Well,
a little
I-
homework, you can be
But I
like.
think-
They're not doing the homework.
You're
That's why
saying
they have.
that-
That's
what?
why they have the number. That's why they have the letters
I
up
think
there.
there's
That's
a-
they're not doing
there's
the
a
homework.
distinction. There's a distinction. Fox is doing it to differentiate itself.
Fox is doing it because it was Deadpool. It was a low income risk. It was a low financial risk for them. It paid off in spades,
He won't let
and
you
now they're
talk.
coming.
There
Now
you
they want
go.
to come back and say, hey, look, we
Yeah.
can make some more money
So,
doing
but
this.
I'm saying, so Fox had its own reasons for it, right?
Yeah,
You're not gonna
money.
see- You're not going to see this with the Disney films. You're not going to see this with the Marvel films because I think Disney makes too much money selling rides, merchandising. off of
Disney
their
doesn't
stuff.
need to do it.
Of course. They don't
Okay,
need to do it,
Disney
but
doesn't
they're
need to
not
do
gonna
it.
it 'cause
Do
they
you
make-
need to
Well-
have a rated R Wolverine film for it to be successful? Of course not. You don't need it.
Rated R Batman though.
Okay,
coming.
but the other guys, of course, if they do rated R Batman, they have seeded all the ground to kids for a very, very long
I don't
time.
think they're going to do it because they
Why
make
not?
too much money off
Who's
of
the
the
most
video
pop-
games. They
who's
make
the-
too
what is the
much
most
money off
popular
the
version?
How many
merchandising.
different Batmans
Whoa,
are there?
what right now? What is the most popular version of Batman worldwide?
The most popular one?
Yeah, the most popular version of
The
Batman worldwide.
one,
It can't be the animated one.
it can't be the anime.
No. So what else?
Adam
It's still-
West.
Adam, yeah.
Adam
I
West.
think it's Adam West.
Are you kidding? It's
No,
Adam West.
Now the way to push, they got DVDs
Adam West.
I
now.
don't think so.
Adam West.
It's
They
the
asked Adam
easiest-
West
When you look
before.
at the video games, it's not the Adam West one. When you look at the
Dude,
cartoon
you
video games,
are isolating your mind at this point, okay?
Easy, yeah.
Adam West is viewed by over 50 million people every
Yeah.
day. Every
Still on
single
television.
day.
Right,
Different
They
cable
know-
markets.
But
different
once you
cable-
watch the movies,
No,
once
I
you-
can't.
once you watch the
No.
there's no
Unless,
freaking Adam West.
unless,
no, that's what I'm trying
unless
to say.
you have a number that's bigger than 50 million, that is the most popular with Batman. You go to any country, you do the music, they know
Yeah,
who you're
yeah,
talking
they
about.
got
Okay?
So
So,
we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
you can't disagree with the numbers. You
I can't
can't.
disagree. But
These are the same numbers you want to pull out of your
Well,
rectum every
all
time
right,
you talk
all
about
right,
BVS.
all
You
right,
can't
all
disagree
right,
with
all
the
right,
numbers.
all right.
When you do the Batman movies, that's a number.
$2 billion what?
$2 billion you made with the Batman.
That's
movies.
dollars, not people. And do
But
they see that
dollars,
many
but
people
that-
every day?
but that's the
When that
thing.
movie
But
goes
that's the
out, when that
format
movie
right now
goes
for the
out of
BVS
the
movie.
theater, when that
That's
movie
the
goes
format
out of
for
the
all
theater,
the look-
Batman is still
that's
being
the
played
look-
50 million
that's
people
the
every
look
day.
of the whole thing
50
right
million
now.
people
And
every
I
day.
think
You
that's
can't
what
argue
Adam
with the
West was-
numbers.
They're not doing it. They're just not
You
doing
can't
it.
argue with those numbers.
Those numbers aren't anything as meaningful as the $2 billion Warner Brother makes.
Are you kidding? And how much money are they making off Batman still from the 1960s
And
today?
All right,
$2
all
billion.
right, all
Now you're
right,
making
all right,
$100
all right.
Every once in a while you go off the rails,
All
man.
right.
You can't
You're
argue
off
with the
the
numbers.
rails.
You're off the rails.
All right. Wait a second. I was just say for DC or someone else, you can pick just like Deadpool. You can pick a character like Lobo and decide I'm going to do an R-rated film.
Yeah, and that
Not
works.
have to
That
worry
works.
about that. That's. I'm not just saying, hey, let's go in, take Spider-Man, and make it rated R, because that's not.
Let's take Batman. Okay, let's take Batman,
back
where
to
most
Batman.
people, well, again, the average person is going to look at Batman, to be quite honest, as an innocuous character when it comes to kids. And let's make this over here rated R, okay, or as close to rated R as we did with BVS, where you have kids crying,
They're not.
okay, and kids cringing, at what's going on. It's like that's where you have this again. If you're saying it's rated R because it works for the character, or a character like Spawn, or a character like Lobo, go for it. When you want to say, okay, we want to make a rated R movie for the money, that's where you start to run into the ground, okay? And again, I understand that we love to attack institutions over here. We want to attack the government. We want to attack the church. We want to attack marriage. But it also gets to the point we want to attack stuff like parenting, where if you're a parent and you're saying, hey, look, I don't think this is. Can I finish my point,
Wait a
please?
second.
Thank
We're
you very
going-
much.
we
Can
say going to
I finish
parents.
this
No, but
point?
you're going to
No, 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 no.
parents.
Can I finish
You're going
this
into
point?
parenting, and we're
Can
not
I finish
going
my
into
point?
that
Yes or no?
thing.
Yes or
We're
no?
not go-
Yes or no?
It's going to be
Thank
a
you.
no.
Thank you.
It's going to be a
When
no.
you come over and if somebody has, if
Lord.
someone has qualms, okay, if someone has some compunctions about, look, is this going to be safe? Is this going to be something I can bring my child to and not regret the experience? Okay, and we shoo the whole thing. Oh, this, that, and the other.
Not-
Oh, my son
not
watches it.
shooing
Oh, my
it.
daughter watches it.
No,
you can't do that.
Using my argument in the thing of saying
No.
This
if
isn't
someone
Tipper
over-
Gore saying put a
No,
sticker on an album.
Let him
No,
have a
no.
chance
Let
to
me
talk.
talk.
Did I have a
now.
chance? You
You
guys
did.
kept talking.
You
Dominating the
did.
conversation.
I had to
did.
keep doing it.
No, you can't complain about it. Didn't do it right after.
Yes, I can.
Look, the point of it, what I was saying is not taking Mickey Mouse and doing rated R immediately. I'm saying the movies I pointed out is with people like over 13. I'm not going 9. I'm not saying take these characters. If you're doing Mission Impossible, with the stuff that's set up in there, you can push it if you want to. You can push Deadpool, you can push Lobo. But I'm not saying, and that wasn't the reference wasn't to say, hey, just free for all because TVs has that and some kids get to see rough stuff.
But-
so you're taking my argument, you're
No,
going
no. 'Cause
way off.
when they put up this rating,
Way
okay,
off.
the rating isn't, again, that's why they would have, the G for kids, and then you have the PG-13, okay?
PG-13.
R is not to say, okay, fine, this is up to your discretion with a teenager. Ours, it includes the younger kids as well, because
But
you
there
go
the
to,
parent is there, even though
says-
he's a dummy
it says
and
restricted
brings a kid
with
in there
accompanying
with
the
him.
parent.
He's an idiot.
yes, I don't have any problem with that. But for people who are trying to make good decisions for their kids, okay, for their 6-year-olds, for their 8-year-olds, that's why these things come into play. So you can't just isolate it and say, okay, we're only talking about the 13 and older. The 13 and older, that's a totally different thing. I'm talking about when you go to see Bad Santa. You got some parent in there who brought their kids to see Bad Santa, and it's like, hey,
Well,
what the hell is going on?
The
You're like, it's an
trailer-
R-rated movie,
the
man.
trailer is there to
They
look
just see
at.
Santa and think, okay, it's
No,
Santa.
that's what I'm saying. The
It's
trailer's
Santa.
there and say the trailer's there to say this is what's going to be in the film, and it has that rating on it. If you're dumb enough to see nudity and all that stuff and still bring the kid, I can't. They're already bad parents.
Yeah,
There's
and if
nothing
you're the
you can do
parent, and
about
if you're
it.
the
Let's
guy,
not go talking
if you're the
about
guy
bad parents.
who never, if you're the guy who you got to the movie theater, this one was
No,
over here
I
sold
don't-
out, you couldn't get into it. What else is playing? Oh, Bad
No.
Santa. All right, why don't we go try that?
No.
Oh my lord!
If
Oh
you're
my
a good
lord!
parent,
We're
you're gonna
going
pick up your
left.
phone and you're
Wait,
like,
wait,
let's
we're
look at
going-
the trailer.
We're going left. We're going left. We're going left. We're going left. All the question is basically.
Don't be the parent that brings their kid to Fritz the Cat and then wondered why you brought the kid to a cartoon
That's
that
right,
had curse
because
words
Petey
in
will
it.
be there.
Okay, you know what? We're
Why
wrapping
would I
this
be
up.
there?
I can't agree with anything you guys are saying. This thing has gone totally left. Spirak, you guys have anything else to say?
Yeah. Again.
No,
the attack.
out.